What is going on, guys? Welcome to Steel Wave, the operation that we will be playing for the next few months with the two new operators, Ace and Melusi. Today I just wanted to go over, I know a lot of people like the new season and they like to talk about it, so I kind of want to have a little discussion here with you guys, especially in the comments. I want everyone to comment down what they think of what I'm going to be talking about today, and we're going to be focusing on what these operators are going to do to the meta and how they're going to change it. So for all the console people that don't know really, but I'm sure you know by now if you're looking at this video, but Ace is the attacker we're going to be getting, the hard breacher, and then Melusi is going to be our new defending operator. Both I feel like have the chance to become meta, but I want to go over them one by one, give my opinions on them, but I want you guys to obviously input down below. Tell me what you think I'm wrong with, or just tell me, you know, what your opinion is on them, because I do think we have a chance for a meta change with how the operators now stack up. The first things first, I think we should just go into Ace. He looks a little goofy. I mean, he's bright red, so that's one thing I think that's interesting about him, but that is so irrelevant to what his actual skills are. So we have the AK-12. That right there should basically answer any questions you have. He has a ACOG, hollow, whatever you want to do, and that is Fuse's gun for those unfamiliar. Fuse's gun is so very good, but unfortunately it was never on a good operator. As I've stated though in the previous few videos, that I think, you know, they did reuse a gun here with the AK-12, but I like that it's on a usable operator, or a useful operator rather, that is going to become probably one of the more meta operators in the game. In my opinion, I think if we were to redo a tier list right now, I think he's going to be a meta operator come the middle of Steel Wave, right? I think he's going to adopt into the role of Hibana and Thermite and just become part of the rotation. So before I talk about Ace, I want to go over the future few days here. I think I'm going to be making, or at least trying to make, operator masteries on these two operators. I've been grinding them, trying to become a master at them and get really good at them, but for now we're just going to be talking about how good these operators are and how they're going to fit into the meta. So for now, I think Ace is going to be a direct replacement of Hibana specifically. I still think Thermite will get picked just because his hull is larger in general. So if we look, right, it's a Hibana sized hull, then you can bandit trick, and then at that point, right, so bandit tricking is still kind of a thing, but you still have part of the wall open, and I think that is where Thermite could come in and do the other side of the wall, right, depending on what side of the wall it is. But this is why I think Hibana is becoming a little obsolete after this, and I think I actually kind of like that they did this and made another hard breacher, because it's getting stale using the same operators that are always meta, and it's going to change, you know, what is good, what is not good, and not what's not good. I feel like people still will use Hibana, but it'll just be a little different. I think this is going to be the more go-to for hard breaching. You have a 2-speed, 2 armor. So Hibana has speed advantage, so she's a 3-speed obviously and has a pretty decent gun, but the AK-12 beats it in every aspect. Hits harder, probably better recoil as well. Has the ACOG, which her gun does as well, but it's easier to control with the ACOG, which is how I determine if it's a good ACOG or not. Some guns have the ACOG, but the recoil is too crazy to even control it with the ACOG. Then of course the gadget, right? So I'm gonna throw one right here again, just to show. So it's gonna break this one, and now it's a Hibana charge. You can't bandit trick it possibly that fast, except if you're really timing it well. But what it looks like to me though is that this hull is never going to be as big as Thermite, and that's why I think that Thermite is still going to be relevant, because Thermite could blow up in this whole side, right? And that's why people like him, and that's why people like Thermite, right? Because he's able to open an entire thing. This is just another hard breacher. This is not some game breaking thing. This isn't going to be nerfed. He's going to be a meta operator, and you should be ready for that. That one is fact. I think no one can really argue with that. Going to still be the third option at hard breach. I think he's second or first. I mean second at worst, because he's for sure better than Hibana with the hull. You have 3 of these, right? You can destroy stuff on the floor. You can destroy stuff like a bulletproof camera that's there. You can go like this, right? Or if it's on the floor, a maestro cam, you can throw it on the floor and bada bing, bada boom, it's dead or gone if you do that. So my one question to you, is this a direct replacement of Hibana, or is just a different version, a different type of style? I think Hibana is still probably better for hatches, in my opinion. I still think she's going to be the best for hatches. So I think they all have a unique ability. Thermite obviously can get the biggest hole. This guy, he's just versatile. He just has a different style of hard breaching that we haven't seen so far. It's just different, and it breaks at 3 different tiers instead of all at once, which kind of prevents bandit tricking, or at least can distract bandit tricking. Now the problem with that is they can stand on the other side while it's breaking and then pop up and spray at you, right? That's cool, but you could throw it from a far distance, right? I could throw it from here and boom, even if they do peek, I still have the advantage on them. And if they're bandit tricking, then we can nade them, right? And get the other side of the wall as well, which I think it's just gonna be easier to open walls now. There's nothing bad about that. Part of the meta, and I think it's here to stay. So now let's talk Legion 2.0, or better known as Melusi. She has the same weapon as Legion, which is awesome, and then she has these slowing down gadgets that I mean, I don't know how to feel about them yet. I think there should be some more counters to them. It's pretty big range. Like if I walk down the stair, I would start getting slowed down right about here, which is a decent amount of range. You can't shoot them. The only way to take them out is by knifing them. So I just, I don't know exactly how that's gonna affect the meta. It might really just make people really mad, because you need to either, run through it all slow motion and knife it, or have a actual breaching charge, right, by Ashe, Sophia, etc., or a nade. Now obviously the point of this is not to explain the operators and what they do, so let's talk about the meta change, right? I think this is actually going to be used just like Legion. A lot of people like to roam with Legion, but why would you roam with Legion now when you have a 3-speed 1-armor operator like Melusi, who is just as good at everything, has just quick movement, and has the same exact weapon. Now I also see the comparison with Alibi. They move very similarly, as in a standpoint like that, so I don't think this is going to be per se a meta operator, but we will see. I don't know how to think about her. I think Ace is more of a clear-cut, change meta type operator, while this operator is not so clear-cut, and I think it can go either way. It could be used like a Legion type player, use it as information. You can use it when you're roaming, or just shallow roaming per se. Like for example, say I don't know this map that much in like all the clear-cut rotations, right? But on any map, right, if you have this here and you are just shallow roaming somewhere near, right, just somewhere around, if you hear the thing go off, right, it's kind of like the same concept as a Legion mine, right? Once you hear it goes off, you start rotating towards it and you know where people are coming from. So now once you see that your thing is right here and you were just chilling right here waiting for something to happen, right, it's right there. Same thing goes for this one over here. So if you sit in a chiller spot, like a more slowed down spot like this, and just relax, right, just take it easy and wait for your gadget to go off and make the sound effect of the slowing down effect, I guess is what it would be called, and have this right here make the sound. I think you use it the same way as you would a Legion charge, because it's just for sound cues, plus you're able to roam as well, which is what a lot of people like to do, and I think I'm going to actually like this operator a lot. Now, does that mean I think it's going to be meta? No, I think it's going to be more of a good situationally operator, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell right now. It's hard to tell how people are playing her, because a lot of people aren't playing her, I think, how she was intended, and she doesn't have a lot of counters right now. It's just, it's grenades, and it's a actual breaching charge. I think Twitch maybe should be able to destroy it. I know it deactivates it, I believe. I'm not completely sure of every little specification yet, but for now I think it's just that. But I think it needs to permanently disable it. Maybe a Twitch drone can get an angle on it. If it hits 3 of the blue things or whatever, something like that, it'll disable it, and that would be another counter to it. I think if it doesn't get enough counters, then it's going to be nerfed eventually, because people will find a way to abuse it. If it's abusable in this game, the community finds a way. If there is a will, there is definitely a way. People love to abuse this game and then blame Ubisoft for everything. So I could see that happening with this if there isn't enough counters. I mean, Buck doesn't have nades anymore. A lot of operators are losing nades. IQ had nades at one point, does not anymore. So how can you destroy it? Maybe something else. I mean, pretty limited on that, and that's why I think this is going to be a interesting operator, and it might end up getting a nerf if this does not get solved, or if it's just less powerful. Another way to maybe buff a operator that is way underused is Knock, right? What if Knock could just run through these without getting detected when she's on her little burst of, silence, whatever it's called. Obviously though, as I said, I want this to be a discussion, so please feel free to discuss. I absolutely love this gun, and on a 3-speed I think it's going to be very powerful regardless, and add a good gadget to it, or at least a decent gadget, a useful gadget. This might be a new replacement to Vigil, honestly. I mean, not specifically, it doesn't do the same thing, but I think this could take a part of his little share in the community, right, as roamers. I think this can be a very, very good roamer. Arguably a better gun. I don't know if it is. I mean, fire rate wise, yes it is, but you can't really compare it. Hopefully though, you enjoyed, and I want to say thank you everyone for the support recently. We've gained like 700 subscribers in like 2 days, which is absolutely insane for a channel this size. That's how much the big guys get, so I appreciate that. I know that one video took us off, so if you're from that video, please let me know. I would like to know how many of you guys are actually, you know, gonna be homies, gonna stick with us, and gonna watch videos all the way through. So if you are, let me know. I'll respond back to you for sure. I love responding back to everyone. So if you leave a non-toxic comment, most likely I will respond to you. Or if it's just really stupid, I usually respond to those too because it's pretty funny to me. But anyways, here is my opinion. I know this isn't much, but look forward to Ace and Melusi Operator Masteries coming out this week. I know everyone loves those. If you haven't seen those already, then get ready because they will be coming in the next few days. I just got to get good with the operators before I, give opinions and give tips on operator. I'm not just going to give you guys a load of crap. I'm actually going to get good at the operators. I've been grinding them, but everyone's trying to play them, so I don't get a lot of play time with them. But anyways, hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video.